Hello everyone, how are you? Dah makan? What is dah makan? Dah makan is, have you had your meal? So that is another common phrase for Malaysians. Dah makan? Have you had your meal? That's usually common, right? To start our conversation. All right. So the title of my sharing for today is Turning Hesitation into Action, Inspiring Rural Teachers to Embrace AI in Education. I'm Nohasmiza. You can call me Nomi. Nur Hasmiza is a very long name. Again, Malaysians, especially the Malays, they love to have very long name. Nur Hasmiza binti Abu Hassan Sazali. Honestly, that's my name. So just know me. Like I know you, you know me. Okay? So that's know me. All right, welcome to Malaysia, everyone. We are here in Kuala Lumpur, capital city of Malaysia. You can see that's KLCC. And if you have some time, please go to Terengganu. It's actually a very beautiful place at the east coast of Malaysia. You see crystal clear water. Go swimming, go diving, go snorkeling. I'm sure you're going to enjoy it. We also have Cameron Highlands in Malaysia. Very popular place for the tea plantation, boh plantation. So you can imagine if I were to say that I conduct my study, here, so that means it's quite far from Kuala Lumpur, okay? Also here, it's quite far from Kuala Lumpur. And then, this is Sabah, the Borneo. Again, if you have the time, please go there. If not, you will regret your stay in Malaysia. Okay, so the main races in Malaysia, Malay, Chinese, and Indians, okay? I'm wearing traditional baju kurung for Malaysia. Okay, this is actually made by it's actually quite popular among the Malays and also the Chinese and also the Indians. Everybody wear baju kurung in Malaysia, right, Dr. Stephanie? All right. So these are the highlights of my sharing for today. I'll be introducing generative AI in education, where I'll bring you to the Malaysian context on my training to the rural teachers in Malaysia. I'll also share challenges on AI training for rural teachers and also strategies to overcome the resistance before I conclude the session. All right. As we have been talking this morning, everybody has been using AI, right? Especially our students. Am I right? So if our students have been using AI, we teachers should not be left behind. That's the thing. So when I have to train in-service teachers in Malaysia, so I found quite number of things I need to do to ensure that my training works well. So I'm going to share with you my experience here. All right. So as you know, generative AI refers to technologies that can create content, for example, context, images, audio. You know this, right? And for education, as an educator, we need this kind of technology so that our life can be made easier by, we have to come up with lesson plans, coming up with materials. So we need all those things that will help us to save our time. That's the thing that we can use by using generative AI. When I conduct my training, usually I would touch all these generative AI tools, which are very significant to teachers, rural and urban areas. I'm not gonna teach you how to use AI, just to show you the examples of generative AIs that I have been using to train and also train the teachers. And of course, the famous one is ChatGPT, right? So teachers, at least if you don't know other tools, master one, which is ChatGPT. That's always important to stay relevant in our education nowadays, right? Okay, so let's go to the Malaysian context, training rural teachers. Why is it important that we have to integrate AI in the education, especially in teaching the rural schools? Because if you remember just now, I showed you photos like Sabah, the Borneo, you go up the hill, down the hill. Definitely, usually, there will be an issue in terms of resource. There will be distance, right? For the federal government to send something far over there, it will take some time. So if you can have one technology that will help to ease the burden of the teachers there, that is AI. All right. So AI can also help the administrative staff, the administrative tasks, and allow teachers to have more time for student engagement. All right. This is actually a common photo or common image of urban school in Malaysia. You see the building of the school, and then you see houses area, and then you can I mean, by just looking at it, you know that it's actually an urban area, right? As compared to schools in rural area, this is common. You see the hilly, very beautiful environment, the greens, So this is quite common when it comes to schools in rural area. But when it comes to the facilities, especially after COVID-19, because most teachers, in fact, all teachers have to do their teaching online, right? So in terms of facility, it's better as compared before, all right? So I think if you were to see this, this is quite common, especially schools in Selangor, maybe Pahang, states which are quite near to Kuala Lumpur, and of course, Kedah, Perlis, all this area. But of course, if you look at this is more an image of schools in remote areas like Sabah, Sarawak, very far. It's quite distant. That's why you see this kind of image, All right. So what about the initiatives by the Malaysian Education Ministry to enhance teaching and learning using digital tools in Malaysia? So for Malaysian teachers, we have this dilemma. Digital Educational Learning Initiative Malaysia is actually a platform provided by the Malaysia Ministry of Education to help teachers in Malaysia to conduct teaching on online platform. In other words, remember when we teach online classes, using WebEx, using Google Meet. So the Lima is the platform provided by Malaysian Education Ministry to help teachers to conduct the teaching online. Nevertheless, starting from last year in March, tools like AI tools have been plugged in there, So in other words, these AI tools are given to the teachers so that they can explore and use it for their students. Of course, before that, they used to use that dilemma for the lesson planning, collaboration tools, and of course, assessment and feedback platform. All right, so this is dilemma. The platform that I mentioned just now, an account by all teachers in Malaysia. Every teachers in Malaysia will have this. Teachers here means the government teachers. Okay? Okay, sorry. So as we can see there, AI is actually the plug-in that is inserted to the Lima since last year, perhaps somewhere in March, where the teachers can start to use AI for their teaching. In other words, when they log into all the tools, they log in using this account. All right? All right. The thing is, why educators are hesitant to learn new technologies like AI? I wonder. Okay, so let me give you some background of AI training in Malaysia since 2024. Remember just now I mentioned that Delima was introduced perhaps somewhere in 2020 due to COVID-19. Okay, so since last year, AI plugin has been there in Delima. Nevertheless, not so many trainings were conducted. Mostly are just videos to introduce the teachers, and the teachers are just passive learners. No hands-on training. That's my point. Okay, so based on my experience of conducting the study with the rural teachers and also my readings, teachers are hesitant to use new technologies like AI because they lack confidence and fear of the unknown. So they would be intimidated because they know that they are not familiar with the tools they are not familiar on how AI can help them to do work. All right, so they are a bit less confidence there because it's something that they don't know. And of course, limited digital literacy is another issue of why some rural teachers have minimal exposure to digital tools of course, beyond software like Microsoft or PowerPoint. So for them, the idea of using AI seems to be very complex, very foreign to them. So they don't want to try. And they believe if they were to learn how to use AI, they'll get more workload. They are busy enough, and now you want them to learn new things. This is so unfair. Okay, so its perceived increase of workload is there. Next, skepticism about AI is relevant to teaching. They wonder, are you sure this technology can really help them in teaching? So they have the doubt, whether AI can truly benefit their teaching. So they may see that AI as a tool for business, but for education, helping them to engage with the students, helping them to solve issues related to students. I don't think so. I mean, they don't think so. And of course, next is because resistance to change. They refuse to change, Many teachers, they believe that using traditional teaching methods is always the best because that is the thing that they have been using all this while. So it goes with the saying, if it's not broken, why fix it? It works well with my students. Why should I use this new technology? Okay. All right. And of course, talking about rural areas, unreliable internet and technological infrastructure is, of course, one of the issue. That one is undeniable, right? With the slow, unstable internet connection. Those are the reasons that they could give you why they don't want to use the new technology. And another thing, very common thing said by the teacher, we lack support. We don't have training. We're going to wait until the training comes to our school, then we start do the work. That is another common thing. And so then, next, top-down implementation without teacher buy-in. So the bosses ask them to do it. Okay, let's just do it. But of course, inside them, when they see that it's not relevant, they don't want to do it. Boss keep asking us to do it. Okay, let's just do it. But they don't want to really do it. Okay, so this is actually a project, a university social responsibility project led by me called Bijak Lestari. Last year, I conducted this this project at one of the rural school in the east coast of Malaysia. As you can see there, the house is quite beautiful because it's actually one of the beautiful house there because it's owned by one of the elderly lady, and the guy in the middle. Because those people, they would like me to help the teachers in the school. So they even provide the accommodation of us to stay in their house for free so that we can help teaching the teachers there. All right. So what are the challenges of AI training for rural teachers and what are the strategies to overcome resistance? The primary issues that I've discovered is attitude resistance, okay? Not basically the technological barriers. If you go and do the training, you see that all teachers have smartphone. All teachers have data. It's just their attitude. I still remember when I first started doing this training, it's a common scene for me to see a group of teachers at the back there, standing like this. They will look at me like that. They will look at me and my team like that, as if, who is this outsider coming to our place? What is this AI thing? They would actually see, I know they are judging us. They would see whether, they want to see whether, is this going to work? Or I'm going to find my way to get out from this training room. That one is common, honestly. Okay? So it's not really technological barriers, even though we thought that rural schools, usually it's technology, right? But most of it is actually attitude. Okay? They refuse to accept it. Okay? And teachers often attend because of their boss. The boss asks them to do it, then they will go. So the one that I went last year at quite a number of schools is because in every school in Malaysia, they have this session where they need to invite external speakers or trainers to go to the school and give them some sort of training, anything. So It's because of that. They need to get the points. If they don't get the points, then they don't get the annual appraisal will be affected. Okay? So it's not usually because of intrinsic motivation, it's because of the boss. Then they hesitate to adopt unfamiliar tool. They are not really sure, they might not be good in the current tools, like perhaps using social media for teaching, TikTok, Instagram, all those things, because now you ask them to teach using AI, another thing which is quite new. Okay, so they hesitate. And then next, I saw that language challenges is also one of the challenge of why they do not want to adopt AI. They thought AI is just English. And when they tried to use Malay language, they saw that most of it is Indonesian language. So wow, Indonesian is very good. You have all the language, but Malay language is not. In fact, Malay language and Indonesian language is quite similar, but we know it. Indonesian would know that it's Malay language, and the Malaysian would know that it's Indonesian language, but we can understand it. So what more if it's in English? And they are actually in rural areas. So they thought using AI means they need to use English. So no. It's a bit difficult for them, right? Next is, AI requires you to use prompt, right? So they don't know how to create prompt. This is the thing. It looks simple, especially to our youngsters nowadays, right? Prompt, just create the prompt, but they don't know what to write, what to type. Tell me. Those are the things that they require, okay? They do not know how to create effective prompts so that they can get what they want. So, during my training with the teachers, these are the strategies that I adopted to overcome the resistance of the teachers. First, I try to ensure that whatever AI tools that I taught them are aligned with their daily need as teachers. So, for example, as I know that teachers in Malaysia mostly are really busy. They always give excuses that they are very busy with their administrative tasks, whatever thing. They don't have time to come out with good lesson plan that integrates 21st century teaching skills. That is one of the things required by the teachers. They don't have time to come out with paperworks to apply for students' activities, right? They need budget and everything. So paperworks, they don't have time to do that. So I try using my needs analysis, data from my needs analysis before I conducted the training with the teachers. I try to align the tools that I introduced them to help with the daily needs of them as a teacher. Then next, engagement. I make sure that my sessions are interactive and it focuses on hands-on learning experience. As I mentioned just now, there are many tools, many AI tools in the world. And I keep mentioning to the teacher, yes, there are many, but today, if you can just master one, ChatGPT, okay, you are done. You are good. So I try to ensure that the training is slow, the pace is slow, so that it caters for all the needs of the teachers of all levels. All right, and they should be interactive. All right. Before this, okay. As I give example there, right? Teachers can create a lesson plan or an activity using AI during the workshop to see how it works firsthand. So when I make them create the lesson plan, something that has been bothering them, then they say, wow, it's so quick, it's very useful. Then they could see that it's actually an interactive, and the hands-on learning experience help them so that they can understand how to use AI. Right, so this is my Bijak Lestari team, as I mentioned just now. That's the rural school in east coast of Malaysia. It's in Kelantan. So I only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, including me. So I have my 2 PhD students, 2 lecturers. The rest are all administrative staff. Can you imagine? They are not even lecturers, but they are willing to go and help out. So when we do this kind of university social responsibility, teaching AI, people might think that no, you need to have good lecturers to go and do training. But no, you never underestimate them. These are all people from my office. One of them is a clerk. Another one is actually one who always helped me to, set up the rooms and everything. But because they like it, they want to help. So I invited them, right, to be in my team. So as I mentioned just now, I aligned the tools that I taught them with the daily needs as a teacher. So what are the things that teachers in Malaysia need? They need to know, they need a technology that can help them to do lesson plan, minutes of meeting, paperwork for students and teachers' activities, to get approval for implementation and budget, because it is a big paperwork, right? So those kind of thing. Then I make sure that the session is interactive, hands-on. They bring the laptop, they bring their phone, okay, and let's just do whatever things that you need to do as a teacher here, and we're gonna have AI to help us. And remember just now I mentioned I have a group of teachers at the back who are waiting for me, like that, right? Okay, seeing whether should I leave or should I stay. Surprisingly, within that 2 hours of training, they stayed and they took the computer and at least their phone to get their things done. I did not force them, because when you deal with adult learners, you don't force them to learn, right? You must make sure that when you train adult learners, okay, you apply andragogy, where they should see the relevance of your content to help them, okay? Personalized guidance. So we have small group facilitation and individualized support. We waited. It's not going to be, it was not a very quick session. So we did it together. We help each other. It's a small group, okay? So they are supported by my team. And of course, as I mentioned, because we are dealing with teachers, they are all adult learners. You have to you still have to apply the andragogical approach, because adults, they want to be self-directed. They want to do what they want to learn. They want to learn what they want to learn, right? And then it's all about solving their problem. If you can solve their problem, then you are good. If you are there talking something that is not relevant to them, that means you are not relevant to them, right? And then, okay, next. Okay, so if you look at the seating arrangement, this is the first time when we conducted the training there. It was less effective, if you see, because of the seating arrangement. This part here, it's very crowded, right? Because of the way, because the head, the principal of the school wanted me to train all the teachers, so he crammed all the tables there, and he put all 70 teachers to learn how to use AI. It looks very cramped, honestly. So remember, I only have about 8 trainers with me, right? So we really had to go through, to to really go and help them because of the seating arrangement. So this is one of the things that we have to remember. If you would like to train adult learners, remember that they need personalized guidance, So if you could actually make sure that the seating arrangement is good enough to cater for the teacher's needs, for your client's needs, that is good enough. All right, that is good. So nevertheless, you can see there the male teachers over there. Okay, holding their arms. So they started to smile. That's a good sign for me, because before that they were behind there. They were at the back, and then they sit down. They sit in front there, and they started to smile. They started to think, is this technology relevant to them? Of course, as compared to lady teachers. Lady teachers are always very hardworking, right? They're always the good one. Lady teachers, see, they started to be on the laptop. They start to do their work, and they're very happy. Okay? But for me, as long as I get all the teachers there to start and try AI, that's good enough. Remember, I am an outsider to them. I'm not from that area. I don't speak their language. I speak, and then, of course, I use Malay, but they have their own accent. So having them accepting me, being there to to share something and making them try using AI is a success for me because it's just 2 hour session. To go to this school from Kuala Lumpur, we drove to this place and it was 8 hours of driving. So you can imagine the distance is very far. It's very far. Okay. Right. I told you just now they don't know how to do prompts, right? I couldn't comprehend, at first when I saw that prompt, you don't know how to do prompt. So okay, they do not know how to use prompt because it's new for them. You have to remember, it's new. So that's one of the example of prompt that I put there. Buat RPH subject science, science. RPH means a lesson plan. So do lesson plan for science. And then year of the student, what topic? 40 minutes, okay? And then you see PAK21 means 21st century teaching. They need to, whatever activities that they have, they need to ensure there's a 21st century teaching skills being applied in the activity. It's not just talk and talk. So collaborative learning, differentiated learning, all those kind of things has to be there. Okay? So we train them on how to generate prompt. I remember they mentioned to me, wait. We're gonna copy. So they copy that. I thought I don't have to spend so much time using training how to do the prompt. But surprisingly, prompt is the thing. Okay, so we train them on how to generate prompt to make lesson plan, minutes of meetings, short video script, and then and we use ChatGPT. All right. So this is actually one of the prompt that we use. Originally this slide is from my training slide. So I just took a few slides that I used during my training, but of course it was in Malay and I translated to English for today's purpose. Prepare a video script to introduce Ryan's thinker skill, 21st century skills, right? And how it can be applied in English speaking skills for year 6. And video duration 1 minute, those kind of thing, using ChatGPT. They actually asked the ChatGPT to come up with scripts so that after that, I trained them how to use the script to transform into a short video. That is another AI tool that I use besides besides ChatGPT. Okay, all right. What about the success stories that I've had? Rural teachers gaining confidence in AI tools. As I mentioned just now, it was just 2 hours of training. And despite the initial hesitation, I am so happy to see that many teachers report increased confidence in using AI for everyday teaching tasks. They even texted me. They've started to use AI to summarize simple things. Sometimes they even use AI to. I remember they showed me they took a photo of a book and then write a summary of this book so that they know whether they should buy the book or not, to make a review, those kind of things. So it's very it's a touching. I mean, it's very. I'm very happy to hear that they actually applied, and using AI and they have gained confidence. Of course, they have increased engagement in lesson planning. They appreciate the ease in which AI can generate lesson materials, and especially because it can save their time and energy. From when they are able to come up with good lesson plans, they could see that the students' learning experience are better because students are more engaged in their lesson. Okay, and lastly, I could see that there's an early evidence of bridging education disparities, where in some rural schools in Malaysia, AI tools have helped bridge the gap between resource-rich and resource-poor schools, providing a more equal learning experience. So for me, a broader application of AI include AI can be used as a tool for teacher empowerment. AI can help teachers feel more empowered by allowing them to take control of lesson planning, and most importantly, the lesson plans that they generate can engage their students, where previously it was not really possible. I suggest that the policymakers should actually help to support AI integration, where they should ensure the environment is created where AI adoption is supported through funding, perhaps infrastructure, and continuous professional development. And there's also potential for AI to reduce workload and increase teacher effectiveness, because AI can take on this kind of tasks, teachers can actually focus on teaching and interact with the students instead of focusing on administrative tasks that can be helped using AI. Okay, so this is actually one of the review that I got from the participant. I will play the video, and it's actually in Malay, but I translate that. Let me just try to play that. Oh, sorry. Okay.
Saya rasa kenapa baru tahu?
Dia baru je ni, baru pun.
Sepatutnya lama dah kita tahu benda tu. Sebab kadang-kadang sebagai cikgu kita nak buat bilik mesyuarat, nak buat kertas kerja, nak buat karangan ke apa, kadang-kadang dengan kesibukan kita, otak kita tak boleh nak berfikir ayat yang cantik-cantik, ayat yang bersesuaian, ayat yang dramatis. Kita tak boleh nak fikir benda tu dengan jangka masa yang cepat. Jadi dengan penggunaan ChatGPT ni memang sangat membantu. Jadi
so literally she felt that if only the teachers there in the school would introduce AI earlier, it would be better, because they could see within that 2 hours of training, they could see that it helped them to do all those kind of work, like minutes of meeting, paperwork, sometimes coming up with sample essay to the students. So, and for her, because sometimes we are busy. This is actually a literal, transition from her word, okay? Our brain cannot be thinking on how to write suitable sentences in a very short period of time. You force your brain to do the thinking. So let's just ask AI to do some help, to give them help, So with the use of ChatGPT, for her, it's very useful. So this is not just her. I like to highlight the response from this teacher, is because she is one of those who give us some face, before in the initial of the training, because she was quite frustrated. She don't know what happened to this, what happened to my computer, what happened to my phone. So, but I really want to try to do it. And then when we managed to sit down, do the training with her, then she could see that the AI has the potential in helping her as a teacher. Okay, so in conclusion, AI training must prioritize teacher engagement and practical application. This is my conclusion for this session. And next, if you want to overcome resistance, it requires relevance, interactivity, and continuous support. That this is also important, because we are dealing with teachers. Teachers, we are dealing with human. They have emotion, they have feeling. Okay, so our training need to be relevant, so that they could really benefit from our teaching. Okay, for future initiative, perhaps more training. Okay, and then most importantly, training should also include the importance of using AI with ethics. If not, our students would just be using AI without thinking, And of course, the teachers as well. We have to train them on how to use AI with ethics, so that they can apply that with their students. And then avoid over-reliance on AI. Ensure accuracy and fact-checking. Protect students' privacy and data. Promote fairness and inclusivity. Encourage creativity and critical thinking. So lastly, this is always the conclusion that I give to the teachers. Although AI can assist, nothing can beat us in terms of our creativity and knowledge. So use it wisely. That's all from me. Thank you so much.